Okay, so let's start here. So for the 11th house, this is the house of friendships, but it's also the house of all sorts of group activities, whether it's physical group activities or whether it's online or a physical, like a book club, something like that. Whatever, any kind of, even an association or a society, anything like that. It's also to do with your ideals, what you're visioning for yourself in the future, what you're aiming for. It's your hobbies, your interests. So those may be, important, a part of that vision. So that all comes in with the 11th house. It's also, your socializing, and it's also about global consciousness and group consciousness. Now, global consciousness and social reform and all of these things are very much front and center at the moment in the world. So this may be coming up for you. It depends on your interests and what sort of position you have in life or what you're involved with. So any one of those areas may be coming up. But it's kind of what you're aiming for. It's something that your hopes and dreams for the future as well. So we've got here grand trine blessings coming in for you. So this is saying that some sort of like a flow is going to come in for you. So what has been blocked or what has been difficult for you, you may have had obstacles, you may have had things to overcome. So this is either happening, has just happened, or it's still coming up for you in this house. So grand trine blessings is saying that those obstacles and those issues that you've had, things that have kind of been in your way, will be lifted away, and your path will be smoothed, or you'll have a smoother flow. Grand trine is a lovely flow. It's a very harmonious energy. So that could be happening for you, but it can also be, with this harmony comes in something like closure, or something that is kind of finishing off, like a cycle is ending, or something is closing down, or you are getting closure on something. It can also be the return of harmony, just feeling in a very harmonious place. There's flow, there's kind of like a rhythm to things happening. But it can also be the rising up of talents and abilities as well, things that are inherent in you, and those are sort of rising up. But all of these things amount to blessings of some sort. So whether you are having obstacles cleared, or whether you are, experiencing a much more joyful, happier, sort of, unobstructed path, or whether this is purely, just something that's ending, or something that needs to be closed, or something that, like a project that's going to be completed in some way. So that can all be coming in with the grand trine energy, but it's a very harmonious energy, completion, flow, all of those words come in with this energy. Now we have got here Nimitona sacred space. So create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. So however this applies to you, this could also be joining a group or an association or something like that that may have a religious or a group consciousness air to it, or it could be some work that, like I said, something to do with social reform or global consciousness, something like that. It may be that. It may be that you are entering or joining a group or getting involved with a group who have those sorts of interests in mind. And this is creating like a sacred space. I mean, it could be something that you're joining, like a meditation group online, something like that may be coming in for you. But what you are doing is creating a sacred space, whether that is through meditation or through some other kind of activity, but you're with others. It could even be with friends, people that you are kind of connected to in some way. And there's a lot of blue here. So this is like throat chakra. This is communication. Perhaps you are a teacher, perhaps you teach these things, but there's some kind of flow, and there's group movement here, social even, however it applies to you. But it can also be that it's saying that you may need to just create this in your home environment, or if you've got an office, then create it there. It can be anything. You can put crystals there, you can put candles, you can put special mementos and things that are important to you from your family or from your childhood or from your whatever it may be, or friends, whatever is precious to you, create a sacred space. so that, so that you've got somewhere to place those items in your home, or that is where you sit and meditate. Create a space for you, even if it's a corner in your home, or just an area of your home which is dedicated to that peace and meditation. But it can also be that you may need to create a sacred space with your friends or with other people that are around you at this time. And this is about creating this feeling of harmony, or it could even be closure. As I said, perhaps you are changing groups, or perhaps you're changing some sort of shift or focus in your life. It could even be new ones coming in. But there's some sort of harmony being created here, and you can create harmony by creating a sacred space wherever you are, whether it's at work or at home, or in a some sort of group setting that you are joining. But whatever it is, it's going to help to lift you up and to bring this lovely sort of kind of quiet energy. And it can also be, as I said, going to a place like a tour, or some kind of group endeavor where you are visiting power places. Now, this can be like a tour of castles, or of cathedrals, or monasteries, or other places, even in indigenous culture, whatever it may be. You may be wanting to plan a trip, or you want to be doing something with others in a similar way, who have the same interests as you. You could be wanting to create that as well. Now, we've got here, the next one along is the third house. This is the house of communication. So whether this is to do with this energy that we've already covered, or whether it's to do with something else coming up in your life, we will see, because you have got Grand Cross Provoker here. So there's something that needs to be dealt with. You've got a lot on your plate. So third house is all about communications. So this can be communications you are receiving, but it can also be communications that you are giving outwards. Now, whether this is emails or documents or contracts that you're signing, or just talking to others. If you're a teacher, then that you're certainly going to be using this energy. It can also be just communication with others in general. But third house can also be specific people. This can be general relatives, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, and it could even be neighbors. But it's kind of got that communication air about it. It's also learning, normally early child learning. So you may be thinking about that in some way, or it could be your children are involved in that, but there's learning involved in that. Also the internet, any kind of electronic communications come in with this. Research, and you could also be planning a trip. As I said, maybe that's coming in for you. This can involve cars or maps, things like that, some sort of trip that requires planning. All of these things can come in, and but it's communication in general, and often contracts and documents come up with this as well. So it could be there's some sort of fire is going to be lit here. So fire element desire. So whether this can be translated in a number of ways, because you've got white Taurus sensitivity at the top. It's saying that you are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. So whether you are wanting to take a break and get away from your environment, and you're deciding to go on a little trip or a yoga retreat, or just get away somewhere, whether this involves family or friends, however, but some sort of motivation is coming in for you. But it's saying that because you're going to be in a very sensitive way, just avoid anything that triggers you. And now this can be, as I said, people, it can be places, it can be activities, and it can also be things in your environment like cleaning chemicals or even medicines. Anything that triggers you, anything that's not working for you, you need to do a bit of a check on that and make sure that that this is being dealt with, and just withdraw or just retreat, or create a sacred space where you can just go to get away from it all. It could also be a lot of online stuff as well with the third house, a lot of communications. Perhaps you are busy communicating a lot online or with groups and things, and you may just need to detach from the media, because that can really trigger you. Too much media, too much of any kind of electronic screen time, basically. It could also be that. But some sort of desire is going to be lit in you. So whether this is the desire to sort this out and clear out and just detach from all these things that are triggering you, or whether this is an idea or some kind of motivation that you're going to get, because this is about desire. It could also be something you need to say. And it could be quite a fiery sort of something that you're saying in a very fiery manner to clear away certain aspects of your life which are triggering you. It could be that. So just being very clear, putting your cards on the table, being very honest, very clear, very upfront. You may have to, as I say, you may have to, get upfront with somebody with this energy. But it can also be, about being courageous and having the desire. This is a heart desire. It can be a passionate desire. So you may be saying something very personal to somebody around you. But I'm thinking it's more to do with clearing your space, because you've got white Tara at the top here. But it could also be that you have a sudden impetus or sudden enthusiasm to do something in your environment, or to go on a trip, or to talk to certain people. Whatever it is, it's kind of like that fire has been lit, the desire is there, that enthusiasm is there. It's also got a seek and claim energy to it. So you may just be doing a lot of research, you may be checking certain things, you may be thinking about doing something, and you've got that energy and that enthusiasm. That is what the fire element is. But it is fiery, and it's a no-nonsense kind of an energy as well. But it's courage, it's passion, whatever you're passionate about. It could be something that you're very passionate about all of a sudden. It could be something that you are just clearing away certain things in your environment. It could be having a sort of an environmental clean, removing toxic chemicals from your home or from your life, whatever it may be. But you're suddenly going to get the urge to do this. But it could also be some verbal things that you are saying to certain people, or it's ideas that you are getting out about this, about clearing up your life, about detoxing and so on. You could be releasing this energy to others, or teaching it, or passing on information to others. And it's something that you're passionate about, something that really gets you going. Very fiery energy. It's a clean slate energy as well. So that's why I keep saying, I think it's to do with your environment, or clearing out certain things, people, places and things that trigger you, because this is a clean slate energy. This is planting, removing something. It can be burning bridges in some cases, but removing certain things so that you can actually plant new things, clearing the slate. That also comes in with this energy. Now, it could be, because you've got Six of Summer here, children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past, remembering events differently, in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. So this could very well be to do with family members, because remember I said aunts, uncles, general relatives, cousins, siblings, even neighbors. As I say, you may just be encountering somebody at some point, or talking to general family, and you're suddenly realizing certain things. And also with your sensitivity and sort of, there may be aspects from your past relationships or the environments or situations that you're involved in which are going to trigger you. And especially if it's to do with a memory, you may remember something differently from what others have said. It's kind of like a reflection, some kind of reflection. And it could also be to do with, as I said, a past romance, certainly with the desire, the fire element card, that could be coming in. But there's communication involved here. There's some sort of expression or exchange of ideas going on. And so this is why this card may very well be coming up. And you may get a realization, you may get a download, you may suddenly find something out, or something is made clear for you in some way. And with the Grand Trine blessings, some kind of closure may come in as well, especially if it's to do with a friend or a family member or somebody in your environment who you have this situation where you are remembering something differently to them. But they may be delivering a message to you, which is then going to give you closure or completion on something. So just see how that comes in for you there.